Hello viewers, recently McLaren asked me if I'd like to watch the Spa Grand Prix live from their McLaren Technology Centre. And seeing as I'm a big fan of McLaren and I'm in quadrant with Lando Norris, it would be kind of stupid to say no. So join me on an adventure here at the MTC during the Spa Grand Prix. McLaren celebrating 60 years this year. Let's head inside. For those who haven't been to the McLaren Technology Centre, it is an incredible building. You see the picturesque landscape as we head in. Which one's the door? This one, I think. Forever forward, there we go. We're going to head over and get our pass. Good morning, how's it going?
Good morning. This is your pass for today.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And here's the McLaren Boulevard, filled with many historic cars and many recent ones as well. So here we have the Triple Crown cars, the IndyCar, the Monaco Grand Prix winner and the Le Mans 24-hour winner. So McLaren being the only brand to have won those three prestigious races, and of course lots of liveries this year have been a reflection of that.
This car, according to Zach Brown, is £55 million. However, because it went to Le Mans this year, that added an extra 25 million on top of it. So it's about an £80 million car.
There are just so many cars here. Even a statue of Mr. James Hunt, 1976 world champion. I mean, I'd love to be able to get behind the wheel of some of these things. And even some of the road cars, of course. McLaren F1, fastest car in the world back in the day. Time for the TikTok content.
It is not for your viewing.
So I think this building's so futuristic, it was even used as a set in one of the Star Wars films. Insert picture. I don't think it included the wet floor caution sign though. Okay, we're going to jump into our first challenge. We are going to go and do some pit stop practice. Something I've never actually done before. Trying to change a tyre. I mean, it seems simple, but I'm sure it isn't. You got any tips for me?
Wheel off is the easiest job.
Wheel off?
Wheel
okay,
off.
I'll take that job then.
Do you guys?
So here we can do a bit of a pit stop practice, which is actually a lot harder than it looks. This is a 2016/17/18/everything car, bit of a mix. Let me show you this gun. You've probably seen these on TV all the time, but not really seen it close up. And you probably think it's very simple just to put this in here, but the teeth on the end here have to line up with these grooves in here. And it's actually a lot harder than it looks. So as you go in, they have to align. You can put your left hand on there, but I'm holding the camera so I can't. And then you take the wheel off and you change it and then put the next one on. So we just did like 5 or 6 minutes here and I'm literally sweating. It is actually very difficult. You do have to be very choreographed with the person taking the wheel off, the other person taking the wheel, putting the wheel on. And you know, the guys here are doing it consistently, 2 seconds, 1.9.
1, go! Okay, so an 8.7. 2, 1, go! Oh no. 1, go!
Okay, we're going to try and do a pit stop on our own. This is not how they do it, but let's give it a go.
2, 1, go!
One way round. Only 17.5. You've got 15 seconds to shave off. All right, so that was the pit stop practice. I am absolutely sweating now. Honestly, that is hard work. Very, very hard work. So as we move up the boulevard here, we've got the electric cars, the Formula E Extreme E cars, which McLaren are now expanding into. And then my favourite cars, the cars that really got me into Formula One. From the late 90s, Mika Häkkinen's McLaren Mercedes. Look at this thing. And then we've got another one, and we've got Kimi Räikkönen's one on the far end. And these were the guys that I supported right back at the beginning, late 90s, early 2000s. Mika Häkkinen, Kimi Räikkönen, the two very quiet but very fast Finns. Absolutely love watching these guys. And you can see just how different the steering wheel is compared to now. A lot more basic. And over here, it hasn't been stolen, it's just been taken somewhere else. It's supposed to be Lando Norris's trophy, invisible. Maybe Verstappen took it as revenge for Lando breaking his one, but don't know where it is. But we can turn our attention to the boulevard of trophies. Sorry, how many are there?
It's over 650.
650, right.
Yes.
And you are going to talk about all of them?
Yeah. One is Bruce McLaren's first trophy.
Oh my god.
So the little red car at the beginning, that's the one he won, and behind that is his actual helmet from 1968.
A non-broken Hungarian Grand Prix trophy. Look at that. So a lot of trophies, quite obvious. Let's hope they can add to this collection this weekend, because, or today, because the last two races have been really good. Lando finishing second twice, Oscar up near the front end, and in the sprint shootout yesterday, the sprint race, finishing in second. So McLaren on a bit of a revival. I think it's fair to say that the start of the season wasn't that good, but at the moment they're doing well. This is very typical of the McLaren Technology Centre. Very eerily quiet today though, this corridor. But take a look at this. This is pretty crazy. A very long line of McLaren Formula One cars. Not something you're going to see every day. What's this? It looks like 2009. I may be wrong on that. Probably am. Got some more modern ones. But to have this access behind the scenes, pretty mad, isn't it? One sec. Okay, restricted access. I'll let you know what's inside. So behind that door is the final boss of McLaren, and I'm not ranked up enough yet, so I can't really defeat him just at the moment. But in all seriousness, it was the production centre, and I'm not going to say much more because I'm not allowed to. Okay guys, we're heading into the start of the race. I think we're about 10 minutes away now.
Here's a gift from DP World
Oh.
from McLaren.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy.
Let's take a look. Ooh. Okay, mini helmet. Thank you very much. There it is. Even got the quadrant logo on there, guys. Love that. Got a nice bottle as well.
Oh my god. Yeah,
And a cap.
I do.
Let's have a little look at the constructors. So this is where we are. The last few races have been massively beneficial to our standing in the Constructors' Championship. For our guys, getting into the top 5 would be a big deal with the beginning of the year that we had particularly. Let's have a little look at the circuit. You'll be seeing a lot more of this as we go into mission control, of course, but we've gone with a high downforce setting, which means more wing, which means the car is slower in a straight line. In mission control, if you have any food that you want to get down now, you can. We're going to go into mission control, but that's not to say this area is closed off. This is completely for you guys this afternoon. So we'll leave the doors.
Okay, we are about 2 minutes away from the race. So I need to get into this viewing gallery with mission control. As you can see, restricted access. This is a part of the map that you guys unfortunately are not allowed in, but I'm going to go in, watch the race. I'll let you know how it is. 44 laps later, I think I may have cursed Oscar with my prediction for him to finish on the podium, but with Lando, good recovery, and 7th place I suppose wasn't too bad given he was 18th and the setup didn't look quite right. So you're probably wondering what's going on in there in mission control. You may well have seen those NASA buildings when you've got rows of computers, rows of people, very much like that, and they're looking over live data and giving information back to the guys at the track to absolutely maximise the performance. So it's really cool to see that. There's a lot of detail, and even one of the guys in there, for example, is listening to other teams' radios and then feeding it into McLaren system and just saying, this team's thinking of doing this or that or this. They've got pretty much a feed of everything you can think of. They've got all the onboards, they've got all the data, so they can really just see everything, so much more than you can see on the TV.
Even though it was only 7th place today, it was fascinating to hear all that communication in there. Thank you so much for today. It's been a real joy. Hopefully you've enjoyed the Pit Stop Challenge, the tour, the mission control. Hopefully it's been a good weekend. Thank you. Thank you. Absolute pleasure.
So, what an experience. Funnily enough now, it is quite strongly raining, which is the rain that Lando and McLaren could have done with during the race. Well, we had a bit of it, not enough. Thank you DP World, thank you McLaren, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.